Comic Community Central, and it's me, Spider Slayer from Comic Book Corner. Just wanted to give out a shout out to all my comic friends out there, and I am basically doing the first true video of Image reviews. I don't read every Image comic there is out there, but I do like some of their comics, and I know we don't review as many Image comics as we like. So basically the purpose of this series that I will be doing is just to review over the Image comics that I read or happen to pick up pretty much throughout the month of each month, and just do a brief review on each book to maybe get some other readers interested in some of Image comics, because some of them are out there and some of them are okay, but some of them are actually really good too. So I just want to give my feedback and my opinions on these books. Maybe it might help you guys make a decision on what books to read. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to get started. And basically this month, there'll be a few books that I'll review. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, 5 or 6 books. Walking Dead technically should be in there because the last day of the month is tomorrow, and The Walking Dead does come out tomorrow, but I don't pick up my weekly books until Thursday, and I'm not sure if I can get around to reading the book in time and doing a review for all these books with it. Just the reason being is that I am starting vacation on Saturday, and I will be gone on vacation for about 9 days. Even though I live in close to the Orlando area, me and my family are going to be going to Disney World and Animal Kingdom and all those places next week, so there probably won't be any videos. So for you guys who do watch my channel, Comic Book Corner, there probably won't be any videos. I'll be surprised if there is. So with that being said, let's finally get started. Enough of the rambling. Here we go. Okay, our first issue is number 1 for the month, and it is Thief of Thieves. This one is done by Robert Kirkman. The story was actually created by Robert Kirkman, and the writer on this particular book is Spencer. I'm not sure of his first name here. I can find out for you once I open it up. And let's see here. And yes, it was Nick Spencer who actually wrote the book. I found this book quite entertaining. For a very first issue, it definitely makes me want to read it some more. Right off the bat, you learn about your main character, on how much of a professional he is at his profession, which is being a thief. And for the most part, he is awesome at what he does. I mean, if you could get away with being a thief, you would want to be this guy right here, because he knows statistics and everything there is about stealing. The art is very well done. The colors are very bold. There's a lot of splash pages and long panels in this particular book. Every panel here you can see is just all the way across, and it is phenomenally done. And the original plot on how you see one of his crimes that he committed was just flawless. And he has a little sidekick, and her name is Celia, and his name is Redmond. And they basically met in a parking lot, and he basically taught her how to steal a car and all the percentages and everything that goes along with it. As the story goes on, you kind of see them together, and they were planning this master plan, this master plot that takes place in Italy. And basically, he was fronted the money to get all the people together and get the job together. And towards the end, we meet the big guy who's in charge of fronting him the money. And what happens at the end is they get together and they're having this toast to get ready to start the mission. And he toasts to Redmond, and basically at the last page we see Redmond saying, well, you know what? I quit. And that's the end of the first issue. He quits the job that he's been planning for 2 or 3 years. Is it a joke? I'm not sure. But the book definitely gave a good job in describing the characters, how they started, and where it goes from here. I'm not sure, but definitely it has me interested in reading issue number 2. So with that being said, I suggest that if you're interested in this type of book, this might be a book for you. Um, it is very, very, very good for a first issue, and I think it will be a phenomenal book down the line if you're looking for a good story. So different from superheroes and things like that, guys. So Thief of Thieves, issue number 1. Next, moving on, we have Alpha Girl. Alpha Girl issue number 1. This book for me, look, I'm Alpha Girl, look at me. I'm Alpha Girl. All right, enough of that. This issue for me was good. I enjoyed it. I know there's a lot of other people. Comics down, people. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Mario didn't do his job. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, Mario. Do your job. Let's go. All right. Sorry, guys. Going on. Alpha Girl. Okay. A lot of people like this book. It is a genre that we've seen 100 times already with the whole zombie thing. I am quite picky on my zombie books because for a lot of you know that my favorite comic book is The Walking Dead. I have read that book for a few years now, ever since before the show came out and all this, everyone jumped on and stuff like that. So I'm very particular about zombie books. Walking Dead is truly, really the only zombie book I read. But Alpha Girl number 1, for me, showed some promise. I love the cartoony art. They're a little bit blocky, but the colors are nice. We learn about this anti-hero. Her name is Judith Myers. She talks about how she thinks the end of the world, you think the end of the world would happen by some kind of just natural disaster, but no, of course, it's got to happen because of the zombie apocalypse. But it's not your traditional zombies thing that happens. It's about some third-rate cosmetic company that created hormones. It was supposed to be an experiment for people, and it's pretty much just gone wrong. It's changed these people into some crazy lunatics, and basically in this first issue we learn about a little bit about Judith, not too much. We focus on how the apocalypse started. We learn about her brother. Her brother was in a juvenile hall, and we learn about her childhood, and how she came from a broken home. Her mother was killed from a drug overdose, and she hung out with the wrong crowd. So basically, that's probably where all her money went to and why she didn't have anything. But for some reason, Judith is not affected by this virus. Why? I'm not sure. So all in all, I do like the art. It's very colorful, and it's a very different outlook on how the apocalypse actually started. And I enjoyed that about the story. In the end, all in all, I will pick up issue 2 because it looks like in the end of the issue, the zombies escape from the lab, and this poisonous gas is getting into the atmosphere, and something has truly happened bad. We will find out in the next issue. The cover of the next issue looks pretty intense. I'm pretty excited about it. So definitely has me going for the next one. We'll see how it turns out. I'm interested in learning more about our main hero, Judith Myers, and how she kills all these zombies and how she handles them all and how she does rescue her brother out of jail. So that's Alpha Girl number 1. So if you guys are interested in yet another zombie tale that has a little bit different art with color and stuff like this, check it out. If not, I understand. That's why I'm here. I'm just giving you my opinion on things. All right. Next, from Image. This was my favorite book of the week. Besides Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I know Chris, Dark Avengers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, hands down, with his favorite. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was one of my favorite books too. I did an individual review on that one on my channel. But this was my favorite book from Image by far, and that was Chew, issue number 24. Basically, the issue should be called Kyle Path Evolving, because basically in this issue, if you have not read it, this came out last week, or this current week, and basically we see Chew's daughter, who's inherited her father's ability to be a Kyobopath, but it's evolved for her. And basically now what happens in the issue is that whatever she tastes, not only can she see how everything was made and how she can solve a murder, and you can find out all the gory details about the person and what happened, but she also absorbs the person's ability. So say for instance, this person was a black belt in karate, she's going to learn karate. Or if the person knew how to make weapons, she's going to learn how to make weapons. So it's whatever last thing she has eaten, that's where she, becomes that ability. So we're not sure how that actually, what's the technical name for it, but this is what's happened in the issue. That's the main part of it. Artwork in Chew is just great. I've mentioned this every other time. You just want to read the book not once, but maybe twice or 3 times, because there's so many things in the background that you must check out. Basically here in this issue, there's some weird butter contest going on. It's a sculpting contest with butter, and there's people getting judged on making butter sculptures. And the funny thing is if you pay attention in this particular issue, who do you see over here? Butters from South Park. And then you see the creators from South Park. So, I mean, they throw things in there. And then it's just things like that. So there's a butter contest going on of sculpting, and it says, floors are buttery, International Butter Sculpture Championship. Like little details like that. I love that. And then it says, sponsored by Paula Deen. Little details like that make you really appreciate the comic. And then here again, nice artwork. Again, throwing things in the background. You probably won't be able to see this, but there's Al Bundy there with the TV on in the background from Married with Children. But it's very descriptive on your characters that you may have not introduced or seen before. They constantly revisit main characters, so you can jump on at any story arc, and their story arcs always run from about 4 to 5 chapters, and they're always very descriptive on what the on what the story arc is called in the very first page. It's a great book, guys. This is one of Image's top books, I think. I mean, it's way out there, way out there. Trades are very affordable. You guys can pick them up anywhere. So I just definitely, if you want to check out a good book that's original and you've never read it before, Chew is the way to go. Definitely a way to go. So basically, this is what this issue was about. Agent Chew's daughter. And I must say that this is not wood. I know that Chris was talking about this when he was doing his comic rundown, but this is a sculpture of chocolate. So, and if you read the issue, you know what I'm talking about. But it's a great issue, guys. Definitely check out Chew. I will preach this over and over again. So that is Chew. So next we go into issue number 88 of Invincible. Invincible is one of these superhero comics that is not like Superman, or Spider-Man. And as much as I love Spider-Man and all, your good superheroes, this takes superheroism to a whole new level. What's it called? Invincible. He goes in space. He does these epic battles against these guys. They've had a big Ultramite war, which is another species that was going to take over the world. And I tell you, the battles in this issues are just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And this book is done by Robert Kirkman also. The drawings are done also by Ryan Otley. And artwork is really, really good. I mean, it's hard to jump onto this book. That's why people tend to shy away from it. But if you can get trades, which they do make, they make hardcover trades, and you can catch up onto it. The issue that's coming out this week, issue number 88 or 89, I'm sorry, has a new Invincible. I'm not sure how or why, how we get this new Invincible. I have an idea, but for all you Invincible fans that know what I'm talking about, Invincible was cloned with a whole bunch of other people to get ready to fight this war, and I think that's where they get this new one from. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what that is. But this might be a good jumping on point for a lot of readers, starting with the new Invincible. How long will the new Invincible be? I'm not quite sure. Because Mark, who's the main character here, he basically in this issue gets infected with a virus, and this virus was supposed to kill all of mankind. And his brother was going against him, and they were doing a battle to stop this. And you can see here that him and his brother Oliver were battling, and they're fighting over this gun that's supposed to release this virus right here where you see. And long story short, what happens as they keep tugging away at it, it sprays Invincible right in the face. And this virus is deadly. It'll kill you within minutes. So after it happens, we see Alan here, who's another main character in the book. He's a leader of a coalition. And he's basically telling Mark, are you okay? What's going on? And he keeps insisting that he's fine, And basically what happens at the end of the book is we see Alan here. He's sitting here going, Mark. And the last thing we say, he goes, what? I'm fine. And what happens is you see Mark here bleeding from the eyes and bleeding from the nose. Sorry about that. Son had to wake up. I had to put him back to sleep. So anyway, like I said, we see Mark all bloodied up, and the virus has truly taken effect. Now at this point, he's still alive, and in the next issue, all of a sudden, you see a new and Invincible. So what has happened to Mark? We're not sure. How bad is he affected? Is he in quarantine? Is he going to die? Don't know. So it's a very suspenseful ending of this particular issue. And for all Invincible fans out there, I'm sure you're excited to read the next issue, which comes out tomorrow. And all you other fans out there, comic book fans, like I said, it's hard to jump onto this book, but they do make trades, and if you want to invest in the trades, it's well worth it to read this story from the beginning because it's a very upbeat book. It has a lot of action. There are some down, issues in it, but it is a very, very good story and very creative book done by Robert Kirkman. So, all right, that's Invincible, issue number 88. And it's being done on time, guys. And you know what? Don't forget, most Image books are $2.99. Very rarely do you ever see a $4 Image book, hardly ever. The most they go up to is $3.50. So that's another plus on your pocket there. Instead of paying, $3.99 for issues that say, for other companies that say, when we draw the line at $2.99 and then they're $3.99. So whatever. So I'm against most $3.99 issues in all companies. It's just, a story's got to be really good for me to buy a $3.99 book. And, Spider-Man, there's always an exception to Spider-Man. I have every issue of Spider-Man since I was like 15 years old or something. So it's like the one thing I can't skip on. But everything else, it's like if the story's not good, I'm not going to spend that $3.99. Next, Savage Dragon, issue 178. Dude, I've been with this book since the beginning, and Eric Larson is the, this is like a kid thing for me. I've read Eric Larson, and I've said this before. I've read Eric Larson many times. Um, you know, when he did Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man, and he's always followed Todd McFarlane. And when I heard that he came up with Savage Dragon, I was like, oh, wow, I really got to pick up, you know, Savage Dragon. And Savage Dragon, I tell you, man, honestly, I give Eric Larson such credit for staying on this book for all the years that he's done. He's done all the drawings for it. The man is just phenomenal to be doing 178 issues. I don't know that many people who actually read Savage Dragon, but it is really good to give it a try. You know, his artwork kind of reminds me a little bit of uh, Roberto Ramos. Um, when I read Spider-Man now, it reminds me of when Eric Larson did it because of all the exaggerations and everything else that happens in the comic book. All the big words, the kapows, the blams, and you know, and things like that. I mean, it's a great, great book. Um, but basically, in this issue, there wasn't too much that goes on. Um, basically, um, Savage Dragon's son. Um, God, I'm just drawing a blank right now. Malcolm. Him and his girlfriend break up because it's the classic thing of, you know, Mary Jane and Peter Parker of, you know what, I can't be with a hero. You're gonna put me in too much danger, type of thing. That's where I got from this. Um, Next thing is that we see this alien that's trying to destroy the world, and it's Angel, who is Malcolm's brother, leaves school and they try to save it. And basically, there's all these big splash pages, and like I said, sound effects in this issue, like there is in almost every Savage Dragon issue. And you can see there that the aliens just try and take over the world. There's all these action and side effects, sound effects in it, and Larson tends to draw the ladies, you know, very flexible and always revealing some things. But I mean, if you can look past that, this book it is a fun book to read, and that's why I like it. Every issue's different. The stories don't drag on, but like I said, previous with Savage Dragon is that Dragon's off in another world in his spaceship with his species trying to find a land for his people. So originally we thought he was dead, but he came back and he was gone for like over a year. But again, what happens is we see this epic battle between the kid and the sister, and here again more graphic things. These stories and Image tend to be a little bit more graphic and a little bit more adult oriented if you're into all that stuff. But in the end of the issue, we see this long drawn out battle come to an end. Really, for a short brief time, they're happy that they saved the Earth, but at the end, it's kind of like a War of the Worlds thing, and there's more aliens to come. And that's what happens at the end of the issue. And this issue was just setting up a storyline of what's coming, what's happening to the Earth. This book can be very confusing at times if you haven't been familiar with it, but again, there's trades for Savage Dragon. You probably could pick it up and understand it as time goes on because they revisit things, and it is a fun comic to read. Great color, great art. If you like Eric Larson, there's always extra stories at the end of it from characters that were in Larson's past books. So again, that's probably why you pay the extra 50 cents on this particular book. And usually he always throws in like Vanguard, if you guys are familiar with Vanguard, and it's usually a tie-in story that comes with it. So, but yeah, that's it. And that's Savage Dragon. This was issue 178. So if you guys are interested in Savage Dragon, go ahead and check it out. Fun read. Good. Different. It's just different, guys. Different from, your big two that you read all the time. It's just these independents. They add a different twist to things every once in a while. It's good to read refreshing stuff. So with that being said, And Mario finally is exposed here, my bobblehead Mario. So say hi, Mario. Hey, how's it going? Oh, pizza. So that's it. That's it from my first true episode of Image Reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be back next month for another episode and to review the following issues that I read. And I'll probably review some of the up and coming titles that I just showed you, and maybe some extra, some new ones are out there. I know there will be one book out there that's called Hell Yeah, and I put that in my number ones video, and I think that book is going to be awesome read. So if there's something that you guys should check out, I think it's going to be Hell Yeah. I think that's going to be a good book, and it's kind of like another extreme superhero book, like a Kick-Ass or something like that. So that's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave your comments below and let me know what you think of some of these books, or if you have any books that you read from Image, just give me some feedback and maybe I'll pick some up myself. So with that being said, Mrs. Spider Slayer from Comic Book Corner signing off, and CCC fans, thank you for watching. Subscribe and support your comic community central. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye.